Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is very fun, isn't it? I'm having a great time and learning lots. And thank you, Amanda, by the way, for giving me permission to just flow and speak from my heart. Obviously, thank you, Gil, and everybody here. It means a lot to me. But for now, I want you to stand up, please, just for a few moments. I know it's a bit difficult there on the back, but when our beautiful Gil and I talked about today's event, she wanted to make sure I understand that it has to be dynamic. So I thought, okay, what can be more dynamic than dancing? She didn't have to ask me twice to this Latino Mexican girl. So, música, please, Ed. Ready?
El capitán Yandel.
Yeah, yeah. La criatura bebé.
Come on.
Vámonos, bebé.
Tómame.
Despacio, atrápame. Haz lo que quieras conmigo. Llévame a lo prohibido. Acércate. Quiero sentir tu cuerpo.
I'm here to talk to you about happiness, resilience, and other superpowers that I'll share with you later. But, well, to me, dancing is one way to raise your vibrations. At least that's something that is part of my morning routine and gets me going. But the truth is, I wasn't this happy about 2 years ago. Especially last year, it was for me a year that I needed to build my resilience up if I wanted to get out of the bottom I was. A very painful one, but a beautiful one as well that led to the most important transformation in my life. You see, I had experience before with some deep bottoms in my life. 7 years ago, I had to admit that I had a drinking problem. And it was the hardest thing to me to do in my life because in the outside, I was on the top of the world. I had everything anybody could desire. I had met the perfect husband. I was living in a beautiful beach condo in Mexico. I even had the perfect dog. Everything I wanted except true happiness, peace of mind, and freedom of my soul. I have been battling for many years with demons and ghosts from my past. Since I was 16 years old, I seek refuge in alcohol so I could numb the pain from traumatic experiences in my childhood, such as various kinds of abuse, some religious bullying, a violent home, things that led to several suicide attempts. That's why, to me, when we talk about Blue Monday, I get it. I completely get, and it is a meaningful thing that you have chosen today for this event. So, at age 18, my family disappears in a blink of an eye. My parents got divorced, my siblings went to live to other cities, and my mom left the country to live with her new husband. So I was there with no direction, guidance, or rules, just to do whatever I want and going deeper into a reckless and dangerous life, disguised as a party girl. But deep inside, all I wanted to be is happy and free. God kept on sending blessings my way, and one of them was my husband, Scott. And I had a glance of the beautiful life I could have, and I knew I could be happy. But if I wanted to be happy, I needed to stop drinking, and I needed to put my life in order. So I did. I asked for help, and that's how my recovery journey began, and a path to happiness. See, one of the things or key things to me is ask for help. Ask for help and build a network support around you. Once I was able to get out of that, after a year and a half later, I got one of the biggest rewards. I became a mom of my beautiful son, Liam. And that fairy tale kind of story that wasn't really real before, it became true. And we were happily ever after. Until the universe had another present for me. This present wasn't really wrapped all nicely with beautiful paper and a bow, so I couldn't really see it as that. And this was about 2 years ago when we have to leave my country. I'm prepared, have lost all of our finances. We have to come here with no job, no home to come to. And we were able to start over thanks to the support of my husband's family, which obviously is my family that has embraced me so much, and part of my angels here in Liverpool. And we were able to start over. Not like I thought we would, but actually better. I started to look for a job. Well, I have friends here that can remember trying to help me get in interviews. I asked for estate agencies because that was my background and my experience in sales. I sent dozens of CVs. I got some interviews and not getting the jobs. Something happened in my 9th job interview where they were asking for a Spanish-speaking sales representative. So I thought, this is it, this job is mine, I'm gonna get it. Well, I didn't. I didn't really know why, because, now I do, but I didn't get the feedback or anything. So after weeks of feeling sorry for myself and feeling rejected and not good enough and lost, I decided to take a part-time job that some friends offered to me, and that also I call them my angels in Liverpool, and working at their chippy. Not just any chippy, best chippy in Liverpool, the good cash, right guys? I'm not only saying that because they here, which they are, and but I understood that was also part of the present the universe was giving me. You see, I learned that it's not what you say or what you do, it's what you really feel. By having that job, the universe was looking after me all along, because I was going to these jobs interviews full of fear, desperation, scarcity, but mostly sadness of the thought of not seeing my boy, my little boy, he was 2 back then, much. So of course I wasn't going to get it, because the universe was actually looking after me. And by getting that part-time job, I wasn't only able to see my son, but to actually have the time to follow my dreams. These weren't new dreams. These were old dreams of a shy little girl that hid behind her poetry writing. And that's how I became a mentor, an international speaker, and a writer. None of this would happen if I didn't build my resilience and other amazing superpowers that I can't wait to share with you. But first, let's talk about resilience. Who in this room has been going through something that you have no idea how you're gonna cope with? How are you gonna go and get through it? Thank you, raise your hands. But you did. And not only you did, but you became even stronger out of that experience. That is resilience. And it's so necessary because without it, it's practically impossible to move forward in life. Because that is life, full of challenges, small or big. It's the flexibility to bend. The bending of your mind, your spirit, your soul, all the way down that you can even hear the crack of your heart breaking into pieces. You can hear the tears pouring down your cheeks. You can hear the silence, a silence that hurts so much as unwanted loneliness is. And then you hear this little defeated voice telling you, what's the point? And all of a sudden, you are lifted by a rare force. All your whole being starts training bit by bit. And there is another voice telling you to get up, to overcome, to keep going no matter what. Have you ever heard that voice? I have, many times, even this morning. But we're here. And we make a choice. We choose to learn from every fall. We choose to carry a message and not to bear a cross. And we realize that once again, we're strong because we are resilient. Once again, I bet you feel that way. So, resilience and other superpowers, it's the reason I can be here today. But not only by themselves. The first thing I need to understand is the number one thing, which is one of my favorite superpowers, is responsibility. Take responsibility 100% of your life. I know that what happened to me in the past, in my childhood and later on, it wasn't my fault. That I end up with an alcohol problem, I don't think it's my fault either. But today, as an adult, I am responsible of what I do with those old stories. I'm responsible to let go of the victim identity. I am responsible for what I say, what I do, and that is very powerful. Nobody can take that away from me or from you, because it's not really about my story. We all have a story, and we all have been in different bottoms in our lives. And I'm going to hurry up. So to build this responsibility, we need to give up 3 things. Number 1, our excuses. All those stories that we have told ourselves are the reason we haven't got what we want. We need to give up blaming. Let's stop blaming other people, the circumstances, the government, the parents, the boss, the systems, the weather. For every reason we think we haven't got the success we want, there is hundreds of people that already achieve it in the same circumstances. Number 3, let's give up complaining. And that's one of the things, one of the gifts that I got from my recovery program years before. If there is something that you can change it. If you can't, accept it and move forward. But complaining, we only really complain is because we know that what we want, it already exists. We just don't want to be responsible to create it for ourselves. Now, my other power, visualization, and I know you have heard a lot, visualization a lot. And when we create a practice of visualizing the results that we want, we can actually feel, hear, touch, taste. So that raises our vibrations. And like we said before, the universe is what responds. You're already happy seeing yourself, whatever it is that you want. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. While I was at the back of the chippy washing some dishes and pans, I was seeing myself on the stage, talking to a beautiful audience just like you. And months later, I'm in Amsterdam giving another conference. And now I'm here. And I'm going to be in Paris in May, and I'm going to be in New York in October, and I'm going to be whatever, all over the world. But because it was a deja vu, it's a deja vu for me because I created here. I didn't know how or when. I just had an unshakable belief that it was going to happen. And to wrap it up, before they kick me out, my ultimate superpower, they're all my favorites really, is gratitude. Gratitude, the real, deep, genuine gratitude. Not the one that we know, the well-mannered one that we all used to do. That is great to have, of course. But being grateful even when things don't look good. Because it's a fact. Where there is gratitude, fear, scarcity, desperation, anxiety cannot coexist. So gratitude to me not only has helped me to create the abundance and achieve the dreams that I want to, because the more you're grateful, the more you receive, but it has also healed my old wounds. You see, if God has asked me, Adriana, somebody in your family has to receive these painful experiences, I will immediately pick me. If that means my siblings, my niece, my nephew, my own son never have to go through what I went through thanks to the awareness through me, I will happily pick me. And I can honestly say, yes, thank God it was me and not them. And if what it means that thanks to that, I'm standing here sharing a message, then I am grateful. Because when we face this challenge, these losses, these tragedies in our life, the question is not, why me? The question is, what for? Why did I have to go through this? What do I need to learn from this? How do I can help others through it? How do I give purpose to my pain? If you can find those answers to those questions, then you will be finally free and happy and resilient and powerful. Thank you very much.